This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/psychetruth.
Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a massage for the lovely Holly. We're going to be doing a massage for neck pain. Let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have time to watch this video right now, go ahead and save to your watch later and just watch whenever you get a chance. Always when somebody is face up like this, I go in a little bit more slowly and just place hands and just letting them know that I'm here. And I'm going to start to just apply this oil. I do like to work on the pecs just a little bit when I'm doing this kind of work for the neck and encouraging these shoulders to relax. If the shoulders are grippy and kind of fighting the work you're doing, the neck muscles that you're working on are going to be tight the whole time. So really great way to start is just to walk out these shoulders, help these joints to loosen and relax a little bit. It's also a tricky way if you grab too much oil, you can just slide your hands down the arms. If you're new to massage and you want to learn how to give massages to people face up like this, just a really smooth effleurage stroke is a really great way to start. And one of the best things you can do is just to keep your hands fairly relaxed. Just starting in the middle of the sternum, kind of helping some of this to open up. And it might take you a couple minutes to find your flow, which is fine. Focusing on this upper trap and just feeling for any inflammation, which is one of your biggest contraindications to doing deep tissue, sometimes doing massage at all. I do a lot of runs up the neck like this. It's so simple, but it feels so good on the upper traps and kind of everything. This can help you get more familiar too with what's going on in the neck and the structure of the neck. Just being clear about where the SEM is, where the scalenes are, and what kind of shape they're in. Before I turn the neck at all and start working on one side, I'm just going to do some work in these suboccipital muscles. And this is actually a really excellent way to start any kind of deeper work. If you can get a decent release in here, it tends to travel up the head and down the neck. Just doing circular frictions in here. Your client will often feel like a rush of blood into their head. It can feel just really good. Get this area worked on. Making sure that my hands are supported by the table. Trying to do this kind of work with floating hands is a lot more difficult. Just unnecessary effort. And at this point, you should be picking up on what side of the neck is more tense. And it's honestly Holly's left side, but for filming purposes, I'm going to film this right side. Usually take my time in these suboccipital muscles. You can start to do more static holds if you find some good spots. Or you can continue with more circular type movements. And I really like just the flow of continuing my work in this area on the right side, just working a little more locally. Making sure that Holly's head is supported with my left hand as I continue my work in here. And really enjoying the support of the table. You never want an exaggerated bend in the joints of your fingers, so just ideally, don't do that. And depending on what you're finding, you can do, there's no right or wrong. You can do really slow circular type movements in here. You can do, quicker. Just kind of trust your instincts. And I'm going to start working my way into the scalene muscles and SEM. And probably the safest way that you can work on these scalene muscles is just with a confident effleurage stroke. It also makes things less complicated when you're thinking about the brachial plexus and causing any nerve discomfort in there. Just a broader stroke like this usually feels really nice. If you hit a nerve in a way that doesn't feel good, it's not the end of the world. It's just not going to feel good. This is also really healthy for the lymph nodes. Just these broad effleurage strokes. If you want to start to get a little more detailed in these scalene muscles, you can start to just kind of shorten your effleurage strokes and focus with a little more detail on what you're doing. Making sure that Holly's head is supported the whole time. Never going in with deep tissue in this area unless you're confident and sure that it needs it and that you're working on the right spot. And starting to work on this SEM a little bit more. The SEM is kind of fun to work on because it's easy to find, and usually anyone is going to benefit from having work done in here. Effleurage is a great way to start. And I'm going to transition into some deeper work in here. You usually don't have to work very hard to find trigger points in here, and you also just want to go in pretty gradually with deeper work because it is a superficial muscle. Anything is going to be felt more immediately. continuing that stroke down as I do this trigger point work. It feels less pokey. This can be really great if you have a client that has chronic headaches or migraines. This kind of work can be really healing. If I'm sensing that my client's getting just kind of tired of the discomfort of this kind of work, I'll throw in a few effleurage strokes and just kind of do something a little more soothing. I do like to land on these suboccipitals towards the end. After that work on the SEM, I'm going to go ahead and just walk my way up onto this mastoid process, this attachment site, and just put a little bit of pressure. It can help the SEM kind of calm down after getting deeper work done. You don't have to spend a lot of time here. And I like to do something for both sides before finishing. Just some broad effleurage strokes. If you are kind of struggling with finding that flow because of the oil being absorbed, you can just focus on that upstroke along the upper trap and just a really soft downstroke. And that is all for today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I look forward to seeing you next time.